if you all watched my last Sephora haul, I just have been loving all the products I showed in that video, and I've been wearing them a lot. So I thought in this Get Ready With Me video, I would feature some of those products. Most importantly, the Kat Von D Monarch palette. And this is actually the same look I wore yesterday. And I met two of my girlfriends, Sarah and Karen, and we went to a little kind of kitschy British tea pantry that's near my house, and we had afternoon tea, and it was just wonderful to have a good cup of tea and catch up a little bit. And actually, Karen and I talked while we were there at tea yesterday about going to Follain, which is a New England-based kind of natural beauty store, and they're having a pop-up shop here in Washington, D.C. So that's what I'm getting ready to go to, and I'm gonna just do the same look that I did yesterday. It's a little bit of a smoky eye, but it's not too much. I still think it's daytime appropriate. So I did go ahead and get started with a few things. I just did my current favorite foundation concealer routine. I used the Sappho Organics liquid foundation in the shade Leisha, and then underneath my eyes I used both of my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind concealers. I used the shade Fair, and then I went in the shade with the shade Brightener, which is a little bit more pink, just to kind of brighten up that area a little bit. I set it all with my RMS Beauty Unpowder, and then I did my regular brow routine. So I think that's all I've done so far. So now I'm going to get a little bit closer. We're gonna start in on the eye makeup. I'm gonna go ahead and take my first shadow, which is gonna be this matte cream color. I'm gonna take that on a really large fluffy crease brush. This shade is gonna work as my base. So I'm gonna put it all over my lid and then buff it up right underneath my brow bone. I'm gonna go in with that same brush with a little bit of this kind of light taupe shade called Vanish. Vanish is gonna be my transition color, so I'm gonna take it all the way from the outside corner and blend it all the way in. I'm switching over to a flat little shadow brush. I'm gonna take this shade called Leahlani, and this is gonna be my all over lid shade. I'm gonna press this color all over my lid, and I'm actually gonna go in with 2 layers of this just to make it look a little bit more metallic. I have just been loving this palette because these shadows are so pigmented and they're very easily blendable, so they're just fun to work with. So to blend out Leahlani, instead of taking a dark brown or something like that, I'm actually gonna go in with my favorite color from the entire palette, which is this kind of burnt orange color called Wrath. And even though it's very orange in the pan, when I use a light hand and really buff it out, it doesn't look like, oh, she's wearing, you know, orange eyeshadow on her lid. It just creates a little bit of warmth in the crease. So I just dipped this brush in one time in that Wrath shade because I don't want a ton of pigment on the brush. And I'm going to sandwich it in between this Leahlani shade and the light taupe. So it's gonna be in my lower crease. And I'm just going to concentrate most of the color in the outside corner, but slowly bring it in. So I blended out Wrath, and then I took a tiny bit of Vanish, which was that matte taupe color, and I just smudged it just a tiny bit on my lower lash line. I'm gonna skip kind of any kind of heavy liner today, and instead I'm gonna take a little angle brush, and I'm gonna take the matte black that comes in this palette, and I'm just going to lightly wiggle it in between my lashes just to create a little bit of darkness there, but not go for like a full-on liner look. I finished up the eyes by adding 2 coats of this Well People Expressionist Bio Extreme Mascara, and then I just put a tiny little bit on my lower lashes. So that is it for eyes. So I'm gonna back up just a little bit and finish up the face. I'm gonna skip bronzer today, but I do wanna add a little bit of definition to my face. So I'm gonna take this very light contouring powder from NARS, and this is in the shade Olympia. And I'm gonna take that on my current favorite contouring brush. This is the It Brushes for Ulta. It's from the Velvet Luxe line, and it's called their Soft Focus Sculpting Brush, and this is one of the softest brushes I have ever used. I'm gonna start applying the powder right at the top of my ear and then slowly bring it down and then blend it upward. I picked up a little bit more powder, and I'm gonna take it up around my temple near my hairline. Just kind of make sure it is all blended in. I'm so excited to go today, and I'm really excited that Karen could go because it's kind of a last minute plan. But Follain, I think it's based up in Boston, so that they're here so close to my house, I just couldn't pass up an opportunity. And I'm not sure what brands they're able to bring. I know they could only bring a selection since it's just a pop-up shop, but I am crossing my fingers they're at least bringing RMS, because there is one lip to cheek tint in particular that I've been wanting to try, and I think it's called Elusive. It's the brown shade, and I can't tell from online swatches if it's going to be too brown for me. So if it pulls a little bit rosy, that's something I definitely want to try. For blush today, I'm going to use this mineral blush from the brand BECCA, and this is in the shade Sweetpea, which is a really pretty kind of rosy neutral, and I'm going to take that on my Real Techniques multitask brush and just kind of liberally apply this. I love using the multitask brush when I want a more blown out application of blush. For lips, I used a high pigment lip pencil from Bite Beauty, and this is in the shade Rhubarb. And it's a mini because it came in that kit I showed in the Sephora haul, and Rhubarb is by far my favorite shade. So that's what I have on my lips. I think that is all for makeup. My last step is going to be to add a little bit of my Leahlani Skincare Pikake perfume oil just to smell really good. So I think that is it for me today. I am off, and if they let me take pictures, I did want to take a few pictures, so I will either put them at the end of this video or link them down below. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon with a new video.